Hey, what's up, guys? Shuckle King here, bringing you NCP Season 4 Semifinals. And this week we are facing off against Ogalbina, who is someone we faced in Week 3. He has the same team, but I have a different team, so it definitely should be a different matchup and a cool matchup for sure. Before we get into this game, make sure you guys like the video if you guys enjoying the content that I'm putting out, and you guys should consider subscribing because I got a lot of cool content coming out in the future. I definitely appreciate everyone's support. So yeah, Ogalbina was able to beat 6-foot Hex last week, which is, I haven't seen the game yet, but that's because we're a little bit ahead, I suppose, in terms of playing games and such before you guys actually see it. So it was it's pretty impressive that OJ was able to beat 6-foot Hex. I've known 6-foot Hex for a long time, probably. I got him into a draft league. I told him for like 6 months to do it, and he said no, and then finally decided to join. So that's how long I've known him, at least for his full draft league career plus 6 months. Definitely longer than that. But I've known OG maybe a year and a half, I guess. He's definitely gotten a lot better as a battler in that time frame. So definitely congrats to him, and good that he's made it this far. But hopefully doesn't make it any farther because he faces me. And I feel like I have a decent matchup in this game. So normally when I show them on here that I think are most at least threatening, I'll probably list them as most likely to least likely to come in this game. So we got Scrafty, Exadrill, Latios, Jellicent, Gigalith, Sylveon, Xurkitree. I think 6 out of those 7 should be coming in this game. I think the 8th Mon, which is Moltres, I think is not as likely to come, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came. The 3 Mons that I feel like I would be surprised that came would be Scolipede, Tangela, and Stalid. And I can talk about those Mons in a bit, but we can look over what he brought and what I brought for Week 3. So Week 3, I had Kyurem instead of Como. I had a Selgor instead of Quillfish. And I had... what did I have? I had Roselia over Manectric. That's right. I didn't use Excelgor or Roselia. But I have used Manectric and Quillfish. And you guys might be seeing Quillfish in this game, which you will. I'm not going to be trying to spoil that. But so this is Ogalbina's team from Week 3. He had a Modest Latios. So Modest Latios didn't outspeed my... it probably outspeeds max speed Kyurem. I don't know if that does. But it outsped Modest... or it outsped Modest Manectric. No, I didn't even have Manectric on the team. I'm not quite sure what the that 220 would be, because 220 would outspeed base Modest base 105s, which I didn't have that. But maybe he was outspeeding like Adam and Cinderace by a couple points. I suppose that's probably fair. Psyshock, Draco Meteor, Aura Sphere. There's 3 moves that my team pretty hard, especially with Psyshock. Draco plus Aura Sphere is pretty safe against my team. I guess besides Roselia, which I had, and then Psyshock handled that. Psyshock also handles a special defensive Clefairy. That's why I feel like it's pretty hard to bring this game. It would be a pretty nice bring otherwise, because it can just sit on the field pretty well against like Jellicent, Sylveon, Gigalith, Xurkitree to an extent, Moltres to an extent. He does have Excadrill and Scolipede to take advantage of it. Also sits in front of Scrafty pretty well, but Psyshock makes it a little bit harder for Clefairy to do pretty well in this game, especially because he brought a Scrafty, which can just knock off my item. Though Moonblast would do a lot to it, especially because he's Assault Vest, it's not going to do a ton. So he still has use for Scrafty, even if he knocks off my Clefairy's item. He brought a knockoff. So Latios, I expect kind of a similar set this week. I'll go about it in a bit. Scrafty, Intimidate, Assault Vest to take on the, I guess, a Dragapult plus like the Melmetal. He has speed to definitely I think it's to add speed. The Mantine was what he was saying before. A lot of the defensive mons all add speed Mantine. And could do damage to it, like a knockoff, or like a taunt from the Jellicent. And Mantine's not going to be doing a lot with Hurricane. Mantine's not the strongest mon. It had a really good matchup in this game, but spoilers, I'm not bringing it. I would consider like a Rain Dance Mantine set, because Water plus Hurricane does a lot of damage to his team except for the Jellicent. But yeah, Scrafty, I 100% see that coming. I think it's very solid in this game. Can take on the Melmetal for Intimidates. Also can take on the Como at least somewhat well if it's like a physical set. intimidates the Landorus, which Landorus is a huge threat to his team. I kind of expect Ice Punch somewhere on this set. It could also be like a physical defensive bulk up. Because the special defense it's good enough to take on some Dragalge hits. Or Dragapult hits. So I imagine it could be like physical defensive bulk up to handle my my Landers. But otherwise, like a knockoff Drain Punch, Ice Punch, maybe Rest and bulk up. Foul play is interesting if it's like a Dragon Dance, a Dragapult or something. So yeah, could definitely see those options. Don't think I'd expect to see Iron Tail because I don't think he's that worried about the Clefairy. Ice Punch makes sense because I have a Como which will hit that harder. Gigalith, he had a physically defensive, probably to take on Landorus. Probably a Landorus non-boosted Earthquake, like if it was like Scarfed. Maybe he has the defense investment to take it on because I am Sandforce Landorus. But yeah, this week, any type of Gigalith, like any defense invested Gigalith is not going to be able to handle my Landorus. And a little bit of speed, probably to try to outspeed Melmetal to get off a fast body press on it. But I had max speed on it, so he's probably not going to bother with speed this week on the Gigalith. And if he does go at a lot of speed, then it's going to be significantly less bulky. Excadrill with Shucka makes a lot of sense because Landorus is such a big threat to his team. And actually, Leo brought it up to me in prep that there is a chance that he could be not Sandstream Gigalith, but it's also a very good Dragapult answer because of how big the special defense it gets for Gigalith because of the Sand boost. So there's a Dragapult becomes a lot better if he's not Sandstream, but my Landorus is a little bit weaker if he doesn't bring it. So there's definitely a plus and minus in that regard. And shoutouts to Sick Panther, Milan, TJ, and 6-Foot Hacks are all helping me this week. Shucka Excadrill makes a lot of sense. Could also be Air Balloon. Maybe he wants to hide the item. The speed was to add speed, modest. Scarf Dragapult, well, I'm going to be timid. And spoilers, I'm bringing the exact same set. The only exact same set was last time is I'm bringing the same Dragapult set. Sylveon, physical defensive, to take probably like one Landorus hit or something. And Hyper Voice will do a lot of damage. I don't expect this set to come because I have a Como. Como could be soundproof, which both destroys Hyper Voice and destroys Heal Bell. And another thing I noticed is if he's Pixelate and my Porygon 2 is in, you can't really safely switch into a Scrafty as an answer because I would trace the Sylveon's Pixelate, and then if I have Tri-Attack, I'm going to be destroying Scrafty because Tri-Attack would become a Fairy-type move. It has to be 4 times super effective. Even if he's AV, it's probably taking like 40 to 50%. So probably even more. So I don't think that's something he wants to deal with. So I imagine it's going to be Wish Protect, Moonblast, and something else. Could be Psyshock for my Quillfish, but it actually doesn't do a lot of damage. Moonblast does about the same damage as Psyshock does, because Quillfish's defense is a lot higher. And Jellicent. I could definitely see this set coming with Rocky Helmet. If any one set is identical, I could see this Jellicent. Just the same set coming again. A defensive set with speed to add speed, the Mantine and the Porygon 2, and a Adamant Melmetal. Taunt them, and then Scald. Could be Will-O-Wisp, maybe. Shadow Ball, Scald and Shadow Ball are just two nice dabs to have, but I could see Strength Sap or Will-O-Wisp on this set somewhere. So the team I brought, quickly going over it, I had Akka Melmetal to take a hit from the Moltres and then kill with Rock Slide in return. Double Iron Bash hit his team pretty hard, and I was hoping to outspeed a lot of his bulkier Mons, but he ran speed to outspeed to Mantine, so that didn't matter. Trifecta to Clefairy. Was mixed defensive to kind of take on Latios. It does really take on Latios super well if he's modest Life Orb like he was. Baton Pass to gain momentum. Dragapult, Scarf, it outspeeds Excadrill and Sand, also speeds Stoutland and Sand, which is great. Adamant, Rock Polish, Landorus just basically won the game, especially if he gave me Sand. And the speed allowed me to outspeed Excadrill, so that was definitely clutch. Porygon 2. Mixed defensive to take on, I think it took a +2 Life Orb Earthquake from Excadrill, and also took 2 modest Life Orb Draco Meteors from Latios. However, it doesn't take 2 Life Orb Aura Spheres from Latios, and this is after Rocks and Sand Chip. So that's probably something I'm going to consider in the build this week. And Kyurem, I don't know if Kiram, it was an okay set. It wasn't really going to do a whole lot. And Kiram was kind of it wasn't a weak point, but with Dragapult on the team, Kiram didn't supplement Dragapult as well as Como does, in my opinion. Como just has a lot more versatility. So, my thoughts of building this team, Landers wins. That Rock Polish set worked very well. It's definitely tempting to bring again this week. Quillfish. Quillfish looks really good, especially if I'm Shuckaberry. I can take Scolipede Earthquake. I can even take Excadrill Earthquakes if he doesn't have a lot of hazards up. It seems solid. It's a switch into Scrafty, and Scrafty, I said, was the number one answer to my team. Also handles like Statland. It doesn't really handle the Latios or the Xurkitree, but it does pretty well against everything else in the team anyway, with like Liquidation plus Taunt, and then I could be whatever type of moves in the last 2 slots. Something to hit the Jellicent, probably. What else looks like it does pretty well? The Necrozma is pretty cool, but with Sandstream, it's kind of hard for me to run a Moonlight set. Even Utility Umbrella wouldn't work because Utility Umbrella doesn't block sand, unfortunately. So I'd have to be creative, maybe like a rest set to heal. Does he have a knockoff user? Scrafty. And Scrafty is a pretty good switch in Necrozma. So outside of Scrafty, Necrozma could be pretty decent as like an offensive set. Dragapult is not as good in his matchup compared to most. He has a Excadrill, which takes on Dracos. Scarf Latios isn't going to come, but that could be an option. Protect Scolipede with Throat Chop. It does a lot of damage to me. It doesn't kill, even if he's Adamant Life Orb, but it does a lot of damage to me. Moltres can take hits pretty well. Gigalith can take hits pretty well. Scrafty can take hits pretty well. He even has like Sylveon, which takes that's probably the best answer to Dragapult, and Stoutland also takes hits. At least hits a Shadow Ball. So Dragapult's kind of tough in this game, but it's definitely doable. Melmetal looks pretty nice this game. It could be banded. It hit very hard. It could be like Shucka to take a Excadrill hit and kill a return with Superpower. Porygon 2 can just sit in the field and take a lot of hits. Clefairy is pretty decent in this game, but I was saying it doesn't take on Latios as well as I'd want it to be. And Excadrill and Scolipede could take advantage of it. Mantine, if it's like a Rain Dance set, could be pretty effective in this game. But it might be a little bit hard to pull off. And Como just seems pretty solid, especially if it's like a defensive set to take on his physical attackers. But Statland could have Play Rough. And it probably will have Play Rough for my Dragapult. It could be crunched to not miss, but Play Rough is definitely an option there. I guess I'll quickly talk about what Ogalbina could bring. Scrafty is his answer to Melmetal and Dragapult. Very solid, Intimidate. If he's physically defensive, I don't twig KO with Landers Earthquakes in the sand, so I think he definitely needs a Scrafty. And probably physically defensive. Excadrill is just super fast in the sand, and that speeds everything. But he probably needs a Sword Stance up in order to do decent damage. Probably Life Orb too, but then if he's Life Orb, he's not Shucka. Latios, I think the same set before, or maybe Calm Mind over Psyshock is a pretty solid bring this week. But one thing to note, he's never brought Defog Latios. He's brought Spin Excadrill a couple times. I don't think he's brought Defog Moltres either. So if I can get hazards up, I feel like that's a pretty solid strategy in this game. Jellicent, Rocky Helmet for Melmetal makes a lot of sense. A faster set with Taunt to take on Porygon 2 and Mantine makes a lot of sense as well. Gigalith, some special defense to take on the Dragapult, like a spec set. It's probably a good idea. And some physical defense to take on like a Melmetal, I suppose. Though if I'm fast, it's going to be hard for the Gigalith to do anything against it. Sylveon is going to be probably defensive as an answer to take on Dragapult. It could definitely be specs. So definitely I have to watch out for, but I'm probably just switching into Porygon 2 regardless. Porygon 2 just switches into so many things. Xurkitree, it could be bulky, or it could be fast and Scarf to outspeed not Scarf Dragapult. And hit it with Dazzling Gleam, which is Thunderbolt is Dazzling Gleam plus, I guess, Energy Ball to hit the Landorus is pretty decent coverage, though that's basically the only coverage it gets anyway. Moltres, Sandchip is annoying for it, but it's pretty bulky, and Flame Body is cool from Melmetal, so I could definitely see this one coming. But I had Akka last time, so he might be a little bit hesitant to bring it again this week, or bring it at all. Scolipede Scolipede, I would like offensive is pretty tough because I have Quillfish plus Komao, plus Melmetal, honestly, to take on. Scolipede plus 2 superpower, I don't think kills Melmetal if I'm bulkier. And then he would need like even Throw Chop to do decent damage to the Dragapult. So it has definitely 4 move slot syndrome. And it could be a Spikes lead. I guess. I think my plan is to always lead with my Landers, which comes, and then I can U-turn into Dragapult and then kill with a Fire Blast. U-turn plus Fire Blast kills Scolipede. So most he gets 1 spike up, less if he's like Spike, Protect. Throat Chop would do decent damage to the Dragapult, but I would highly doubt that set comes. Tangela, physically defensive to take on the Landorus would be the only reason for it. Stoutland, I really, really don't see it coming. So we'll talk about the Mons I'm bringing. The first Mon is Landorus, which you guys should have expected to come. Where's my mouse? There it is. So this week I'm bringing Choice Banded instead of Rock Polish set. This is going to just break his team super hard. He might expect to live, he might EV Mons to live like a +2 Adamant Earthquake or something, but they're probably not going to take 2 Choice Banded Earthquakes. And this hit super hard. The attack allows me to kill max HP Scolipede, which is just a baseline attack that I needed. And I didn't really see any other roles that made a difference with adding extra EVs. The speed EVs will outspeed max speed Circuitry. I didn't want that to outspeed me and then to a KO with Energy Ball. Even if I really expected the Circuitry is going to be maybe max HP, max special attack. It could be Scarfed. So if it's Scarfed, you have to run Timid to outspeed my Dragapult. And you'd be like max special attack, max speed in that instance if it's Scarfed. I don't outspeed Scarf, but there is an option that he is Timid, so I have to watch out for that. U-turn for momentum, Earthquake just wrecks the team. Knock off to really hit the Tangela. Also hits the Latios, though U-turn probably kills the Latios unless he's a decent amount of bulk. Rock Slide is there for the Moltres. I was debating about this slide a lot. I like Superpower to hit Scrafty for a lot more damage and hit Air Balloon Excadrill or Shucka Excadrill, though Earthquake does 100% min to his to Shucka Excadrill that he brought last time, so that just shows how powerful Landorus is in this game, and that's not even with the Sand Force boost, which is just ridiculous. So yeah, I went with Rock Slide to make sure I hit Moltres. Moltres will be physically defensive, so I'm not worried about not outspeeding it, but if it's a fast Moltres, then it would outspeed me, but I really doubt it. And if it is max speed, then Dragapult. If it's max HP, max speed, that could be problematic. But I would not expect that to come. But if it does, shoutouts. Anything else with the Landorus? Nope. Okay. So next is Quillfish. So I think if I can spike up a lot on this team, I have 2 end game sweepers that I feel have a pretty good chance to succeed. Even though my Landorus did really well in game 1 with sweeping with Rock Polish. So this Quillfish, max HP, max defense. This gives me the best chance to live a +2 Life Orb Earthquake from Excadrill. After Rocks, it's End Sand. I don't think I live it. After Sand, I have a almost 100% chance to live a +2 Life Orb Earthquake from Excadrill because I do have Intimidate. So it's really only a +1 Life Orb Earthquake, which is still kind of crazy because I am super effective to it, but with the Shucka, that will help a lot. Liquidation, I imagine it'll be some bulk, but it'll probably do 70-ish, 70 to 80% to the Excadrill, which is great damage, especially if he's Life Orb, then I'll be killing it all. I'll be basically trading my Quillfish for the Excadrill. I imagine this could also be a switch-in to the Scrafty if he gets that in at any point. I have 2 switch-ins to the Scrafty. And if this is a switch in to Scrafty, I have Intimidate on it, so it's not going to do much at all, at least initially. And I can set up spikes. I can go for Thunder Wave. I really think the Latios is going to come in. I could also Thunder Wave if the Jellicent could come in. I could taunt the Scrafty if it's going to be bulk up rest. Or I just set up a bunch of spikes, because I don't think he's going to run heavy duty boots on any mon outside in the Moltres. Because I think he wants Rocky Helmet to chip the Melmetal, so for Jellicent, and that'll allow me to get a little bit an easier chance to a KO stuff with what other ones on my team if I have a lot of hazards up. And then Liquidation over Scald, because Liquidation does a lot more damage. The burn chance is super nice, like on Excadrill, but I'd rather get more damage right away. So this is a pretty straightforward set. Next we got, if it's a lot of speed, to outspeed Quillfish from like Jellicent, could be like a lot of speed and outspeed by Quillfish, then it's definitely not as bulky, and I feel a lot more comfortable just trying to go for 2 KOs on the Jellicent. Next Pokemon I have is Weakness Policy and Necrozma. So this can, normally Necrozma can't beat Scrafty, and this set is not the most reliable to beat Scrafty, but it definitely can. Dragon Dance with +1 speed will allow me to outspeed. It doesn't outspeed max speed Latios. I don't think it's going to be max speed Timid Latios. This will outspeed Adamant Cinderace by 3 points and outspeed max speed Timid Manectric by 2 points. So I could see him being an S-speed outspeed like Timid Manectric by 1 point with the Latios. Though, I mean, Manectric doesn't do much to Latios anyway, but that's where I expect the speed from OG to come, because he's a pretty aggressive speed creeper. So I think I'm pretty safe to run the speed and outspeed the Latios, unless he's Scarf, of course. Yeah, +1 speed with Dragon Dance and +1 attack. It's going to be doing significant chip to a lot of things in the team. I'll be Twig carrying all his physical defensive walls, except for Scrafty, because it would have Intimidate. But if he goes for knockoff on me, I'm going to actually get up to a +2 attack. And then from there, Brick Break is definitely going to Twig KO. So it might force him to make a lot of switches in and out. And knockoff's doing about 50%, like 40 to 50%. So it's not like, it's going to be pretty tough for him to revenge kill me. Brick Break also does a lot to the Excadrill, and X-Scissors there really to hit the Latios. Knockoff would be nice to hit the Jellicent harder. Photon Geyser 2 KOs at +1 attack. Though it could be Scald or Will-O-Wisp to kind of neuter my Necrozma, but I would have ways around that. X-Scissors there in case if he has Colbur Berry Latios again. Yeah, I feel like this has a pretty cool chance to a sweep late game. It might not, but it might force him to make a lot of weird plays, because I don't think he's expecting this set whatsoever. Next Pokemon is Dragapult. Brought this exact same set before. Scarf allows me to outspeed the Excadrill in Sand, unless he has a Rapid Spin boost. I don't think he's going to be Rapid Spin Excadrill, because I think he wants the coverage. But it could just be Earthquake Iron Head, but I think he's going to want an additional coverage move somewhere. But yeah, these 4 moves hit the team like well enough. It doesn't really break through like Sylveon or Moltres or Gigalith or Scrafty, but it just outspeeds everything, and then that's really nice. Even like a Dragon Dance Latios, I would outspeed. So this is just safe fire. I'm going to outspeed something and do at least some damage to something on the team. Maybe get a kill. Infiltrator in case he has some sub shenanigans or something. Next Pokemon I have is Porygon 2. Probably the MVP of this team. He's just super reliable. I could just BV it to take any hits that I wanted to. Trace is cool. It could like trace a Latios Levitate, and then Excadrill can touch me with Earthquake while I Foul Play it. And Foul Play at +2 Excadrill does like probably 80%. It really depends on how much bulk. If it's no bulk, I would basically kill after a spike, but I imagine he's going to have Sun bulk on the Excadrill, so I don't think it's going to kill with a +2 Foul Play. But if he's if he's Life Orb, he probably kills me, but then he'll kill himself off in return, and I'll trade my Porygon 2 for the Excadrill. And if he's not Life Orb, then I will live the hit and kill in return. Or, yeah, I would kill in return. I wouldn't need to recover. That'd be a little too risky predicting if he's Life Orb or not. Else with the Porygon 2, I changed the EV spread up a little bit. This will allow me to take 2 modest Life Orb Aura Spheres after Rocks and Sand Chip. So this will allow me to continuously recover up on it. Obviously, there's a chance that he crits, but also he would be damaging himself with Life Orb Recoil, so it's not the end of the world there necessarily. I would probably take 2 Timid Specs Aura Spheres. I wouldn't take 2 modest Specs Aura Spheres, but if I know he's modest Specs based on the damage that he's doing, I could switch out into Dragapult, or switch out into Necrozma, or even if I think he's going to be over aggressive and switch out, I could just stay in and go for a recover, predicting me to switch out. Anything else with this? I have a 30% chance to die to an Excadrill. No, so I have a 30% chance to die to 2 Earthquakes with Rocks and Sand Chip if he's a Life Orb Jolly Excadrill. So that's the downside of the little less physical defense that I have. But I have other mons that could take that on, like the Quillfish. My dragapult outspeeds. Necrozma could take a hit if I have to, and the last mon can also take a hit. And Landers obviously takes earthquakes as well. Foul play to hit the Excadrill plus the Scolipede if it's like a Sword Sand set. Toxic for everything else in the team. Jellicent could outspeed me and taunt, but is what it is there. Teleport for momentum, and recover to stay as healthy as possible. Trace is also cool if he's like Water Absorb Jellicent or something, and then I'd be immune to Scald. Though I imagine he's probably going to be Curse Body. Or I could Trace like a Regenerator on a Tangela. That'd be pretty cool. Last Pokemon I have is Como. So Como, it's not physical defensive to take on the Escadrille. I probably don't take a +2 Earthquake, but that's the risk I'm willing to take, and I think I have enough things in the team to handle Escadrille well enough anyway. Thing to note is no Melmetal, which might be a surprise to him, but Jellicent is a pretty solid answer, and Moltres is a pretty solid backup answer, Scrafty as well. So it's kind of tough in this game, and it really didn't do as much as I thought it would in the game I brought it. And I think Como is going to be a pretty nice addition to the team because it has rocks. My rockers before I had Como were Necrozma, Landorus, and Clefairy. Clefairy's not the most reliable mon. Landorus and Necrozma don't really want to run rocks, and Como doesn't always want to run rocks either, but three pretty reliable mons that don't always want to bring rocks is a better odds that I can actually run rocks in one of the three than one out of the two, if that makes sense. So I really like Como in this slot here. Though I picked Como for other matchups, I also figured when I picked the Como that it was pretty decent in this matchup as well to handle the Excadrill. But this is one of my other switch-ins to Scrafty. If I teleport with my Porygon too, I can go into Como, and then I 2-KO with Aura Sphere on Scrafty, which is great. I think even if it's max special defensive, I might 2-KO. It's a roll, I believe. But I can get Stealth Rocks up, which is great. And then late game, I could Autonomize and then do pretty decent damage to the team, except for Sylveon. Sylveon, I just don't beat at all. I could be Soundproof over Overcoat, but I know he's going to be a Moonblast Sylveon, so I don't think there's any point in me running Soundproof, and I don't beat Sylveon anyway with this set. So I figured that, one, if Tangela is like Sleep Powder, then I have a switch into that. And two, if it's, I don't want to be taking Sand Chip if I don't have to. And I don't think Bulletproof was any more help in this game. But yeah, I could late game Autonomize. Clanging Tail says Aura Sphere should do pretty decent damage to everything on the team. I had a Heavy Duty Boots for a while on this to prevent any spikes, but I don't think Scolipede is going to come as a spiker. And Dragon Fang allows me to a 2-KO physical defensive Moltres and physical defensive Jellicent, and I didn't do that before with Como, so that's definitely a pretty big game-changing decision there, because it's not the easiest for me to 2-KO Jellicent and Moltres on this team. I do have mons that do, but it's a little bit harder too, so just one extra mon that can do so is great. Obviously, I could take any one Excadrill hit that's not boosted and kill in return, or do a lot of damage to Aura Sphere. So that's my team. This is super long. I don't know if I'm going to be editing it down or not, but I just want to explain my thought process, and really, this is all for me explaining my thought process of how I'm going to approach this game. I got a reputation to uphold, you guys. I can't be losing any more of these playoff games for on Wi-Fi. I got to keep my perfect streak going up. So yeah, let's get right into the game. All right, here we are about to start the battle. As the Pokemon I'm expecting to bring, I'm not going to do as much detail as I usually do at this part, but it's going to be Scrafty, Escadrill, Latios, Jellicent, Gigalith, Sylveon. I think the same 6 as before. I think Xurkitree has a chance to come. Moltres chance to come. I don't think Scolipede, Tangela, or Stoutland come. So, yeah, let's get right into this. I got a reputation uphold for you guys. I can't be losing. Okay, so we got Latios. No Excadrill, wow. Okay. Scolipede, Jellicent, Sylveon. No Gigalith either. Scrafty. And Xurkitree. Okay, so yeah, the sand doesn't come. I thought I had a pretty decent chance to come, but I guess I understand because of Sand Force being such a big threat. It would have been nice if I had superpower on my Landers, but it was the thought process that's more important than the actual end result type of deal. So yeah, I'm leading with Landorus. My plan is to lead with my landers, U-turn into dragapult if it's a Scolipede lead. If not, I'm probably going to Earthquake. Maybe knock off what looks pretty good this game. Hopefully Necrospa could sweep. He does have this Crafty. Porygon 2 is just a pretty safe pivot, especially because no Escadrille, so he's going to be taking hits a lot better this game. Hermes, Scolipede. Okay. So he's going to be trying to set up a lot of spikes. So yeah, my play is to U-turn. Could Aqua Tail. Life Orb Aqua Tail does a lot, but it doesn't kill. Let me get my calculator up. He sets up spikes. Okay, that's fine. So I can see what type of damage I'm doing. 20%. Scolipede. 20%. Looks like it's max HP. So Dragapult will kill his Fire Blast here. Yep, unless if he's special defensive or if he's Akaberry. But I'm fine allowing let's see if he's Protect. I'm fine allowing one layer spikes up. Let's see what he goes into. Aries. This Crafty. Level 50. I like that 25% damage. Some Spadef investment. Okay. Some Spadef Scrafty. My Como-O is a say switch in. No leftovers. So probably Rocky Helmet, which is nice. I didn't catch it was Intimidate. I highly assume it was Intimidate. I'm not too worried about a Dragon Dance set. Am I? I don't think I am. Especially because it's special defensive. Going for a knockoff here. Okay. 133 down to 111. So 22 damage. Knockoff. 22 damage, no attack. Okay. No attack, Scrafty. Set up my rocks here. Okay, he stays in. I'm kind of surprised. Ice Punch? Drain Punch? Toxic. Okay. So that's something to note, that the Scrafty could Toxic my Necrozma. He's going to predict a fighting move here, so I'm going to go into my Scolipede and start setting up spikes. I don't think there's any way that he stays in. I suppose he could be Chople. Get Intimidate off. Yeah, he's switching out. Yeah, no way he stays in. Scolipede? Okay. Is he taking rocks? No, he is not. Okay, so I'll taunt here so he doesn't get a lot of layers up. Gets up another layer of spikes, and I'm pretty fine with just going for a layer of spikes here. We will be trading, and the only thing that's immune to it is Latios. Let's see, does he go hard Latios here? Landon? Oh, he does go hard Latios. I could have Thunderwave there. That's unfortunate. Takes rocks, and I'm setting up a layer of spikes. So let's see the Porygon 2 with 2 layers of spikes. To Latios. Level 50. Modest, Life Orb, Aura Sphere. Does not kill me after 2. So I'm pretty safe to go into it. Start setting up Calm Mind. Definitely problematic. I probably just get a Toxic on it. Trace the Levitate. Not that it matters this game. Going for a Draco. Okay. Let's see how much Draco does. 160 to 74. Life Orb, 86 damage. So 86 damage. Could be Timid or Modest. Can't really tell. -2 special attack. Draco is doing 51 damage, so I can stay in and recover. And I'll be healthy to take on this mon in the future. No, it's a Boots Golipede, so that's definitely interesting. Could go for a Toxic here, but there's no reason for me just to hard switch into my Quillfish. Sets up another layer of spikes. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave here. I don't think he's going to make the hard play in the Latios again. That'd kind of be crazy, but it's definitely a possibility. He does. Okay, that's great. Now, do I need this Quillfish? I don't need it necessarily for anything, especially if I'm getting up a lot of layers. So I think I'm fine going for a Spike. He could definitely Aura Sphere here, predicting me to go into my Porygon 2, though Draco is pretty safe for him. Goes for Psyshock. Okay. That it will knock me out. Does it normally knock me out? Quillfish, Latios, Psyshock. Oh, that's not -2. Yeah, he kills. Do I just go into my Necrozma and set up a Dragon Dance? I kind of like the sound. I think it's a little early. My Landorus is such a safe play. Landorus. Golipede is max HP. Max HP. It's not dying, but I mean this will die. Is knockoff worth it? It's worth it for the Scrafty if I can knock off a Boots. I can't go for the Earthquake, obviously. That'd be way too risky. Getting rid of an item on stuff seems nice. So yeah, I'm going to just go for a knockoff here. Would have been nice to go for U-turn on the whatchamacallit, the Scrafty? Okay, that's good damage. It's max HP. Could go for a Toxic Spike here. Toxic Spike would be pretty bad. Endeavor is also an option. I think I'd rather keep... What's my Dragapult doing this game? Outspeeds a Xurkitree. Does okay damage. I think it's more important to keep the health on my landers, especially because Latios is T-waved, so I'll always outspeed. Definitely taking a lot of chip here. Endeavors, doesn't work. Great. U-turn is not going to kill. Shadow Ball seems like a safe play. The worst thing is he goes into Scrafty. That's going to take spikes and Stealth Rock. And now he knows I'm Scarfed, but I'm sure he expected that. So Scolipede got up 2 layers. It is dead. The Xurkitree is dead. Or not the Xurkitree. Latios is very crippled. It's like a choice Scarf. Xurkitree could be an issue. Scrafty comes out. Let's see. Is it Boots? Nope. Ooh, I like that damage. I like that damage a lot. I go into my Como predicting the knockoff. I definitely like my positioning of Necrozma +1. It's gonna be taking decent damage here. Rest? Okay. I was expecting like a rest sleep talk set potentially. Does he go for rest talk or does he go into Sylveon? Oh, he's a knockoff Toxic. Rest. Close combat? I think I'm fine just going for Aura Sphere here. The Sylveon could come out for sure. But I'm fine getting a good chip on this. But he's going to switch out and probably go into Sylveon. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be able to gauge a little bit of what this set is. So, rocks. 2 layers of spikes. This is just setting up my Necrozma even more. Okay, that does like 10% damage. Not much at all, but kind of what I expected. Sylveon. Level 50 doing about 10%. Could have some Spadef. It's kind of hard to tell what the spread is exactly. I'm going to go to my Porygon. Heal Bell could come off. Wish could come off as well. If a Wish comes off, I probably just go for Foul Play. Definitely a lot of chip there. Q-Charm. Yep, makes a lot of sense there. Heal Bell. Okay, so Latios is not T-Waves, and so I think I go for Toxic on this mon. Weaken it a little bit. I think I'm definitely using this mon to I'm using this mon to take advantage of with my Necrozma. I do like the position of it, especially because Scolipede is down, so it can't like protect and get +1 speed. I outspeed everything on the team. I would like to get a little bit more chip on the Xurkitree, potentially. How much does Foul Play do to Latios? That's going to be pretty important. Porygon 2. What's my timer situation? I'm definitely lower. Latios, but not anything to really worry about. Foul Play has a chance to kill, so I'm going to go for that. Could Baton Pass, I suppose? Heal Bell. Okay. That's fine. Just cures its poisoning. I'll be able to Toxic on the following turn. And I think I definitely want a Toxic if the Scrafty comes out. Which I have a pretty good feeling that it's going to come out right here. Aries, that is the Scrafty. Yep. So it's going to be taking rocks and spikes. That's definitely good. I miss. That's pretty unfortunate. What's my play here? Don't really have one. I have to stay in toxic. Be doing a lot of damage to me. Oh, not much, actually. This actually might not be a fighting move. I could definitely see it being not a fighting move just because it threatens me out and does decent damage anyway. So yeah, I'm going to recover here. I feel like I definitely have a chance to live this hit. Is it Drain Punch? It is Drain Punch, okay. Yeah, I definitely do need a little bit of chip on the circuitry as well. Yeah, that shed skin is definitely annoying. Definitely not the greatest position. Yeah, I'm gonna go into this. Hopefully, I live after spikes and rocks. I haven't really. I really didn't pay attention to that. Oh, I just don't. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. What am I going into? I go into my Landers and go for Earthquake. Superpower would be nice here for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna just get a big hit off on this. I have to rely on Necrozma setting up on something. I definitely do need this chipped, which is pretty unfortunate. Landon, who is that? Latios. Alright, yeah, that was aggressive play, but definitely a play he could have made. He is immune to it. I think I lose this game at this point. Let's see. If he roosts, I have a chance here. Because then I U-turn into something and maybe gain some momentum. Psyshock? Okay. Yeah, I think this is a good game. It's not over yet. Yeah, but I stay in and Dragon Dance. I think I have to force him out. He's gonna go Scrafty, which is a problem. So yeah, good game, OG. I was trying to go Spike Stack. Maybe if he missed, I had a chance. But no. Yeah, you played that very well. I figured Spike Stack could be something. Oh wow, he even just flat out kills. Maybe I could have gone into a Landers there. But yeah, pretty dominating win for OG. Good for him, and congrats on him making finals. Definitely an impressive win for him. I could have... Boots wouldn't have made a difference, but Spike Stack was definitely annoying. And I figured he wasn't going to bring Scolipede, and didn't think it was going to be as threatening as it turned out being. So, congrats to him. He has a very good season. I think he has a pretty decent chance of winning this finals. There goes my streak of winning all the Wi-Fi championships. So it definitely stinks, but it was bound to happen, and it honestly relieves a lot of pressure on me that I don't have to just continuously win all these games. So congrats to OG for making finals. Not much to say here. I had a pretty good... I thought I had a pretty decent build. Didn't get as much support, honestly, as I wanted to this week. Just a lot of people were busy, which is definitely understandable. But he definitely had a very good game plan going into this. Let's see what this Jellicent set is. Should be pretty interesting. But yeah, I figured a rest Crafty was going to be super annoying for me. And probably, I mean, getting rocks up seemed like a good play earlier on the whatchamacall, the Como. Oh, okay. I mean, I get a kill. That's fine. And Curse Body. That's just funny. But, yeah, I guess if I Aura Speared the Scrafty, I would have been in really, really good position. If that was dead, I think the Crossbow had a decent chance to set up. But that was unable to happen. And I don't think I really would have played that differently. I think I went with the game plan that I set myself up for, and I didn't bring removal. And it makes sense because Landorus is just really solid offensively. Mantine was an okay bring, but kind of tough. And I didn't bring Cinderace last time, and I guess it would have been risky if I did bring Cinderace and brought a heavy-duty boots, but I didn't bring it before, so it made sense that I didn't bring it this game as well. Yeah, so I can't do anything here. I'm going to struggle, and this is definitely a struggle of a game here. I definitely should have put out a better showing, but OG played us really well, so good game. Congrats, he's going to make it to finals. And I'm sure he's very happy about that. I'm sure he put a lot of work in this game, probably more than I did. But again, I didn't really get a lot of support from this game with people that I expected to help me out with. So definitely unfortunate. But yeah, good game, man. And make sure you subscribe to his content and make sure you watch out for any future leagues that I'll be participating in the future. But yeah, until next time, later, guys.